Bienvenidos and welcome to another episode of Spain on a Fork. So right now, we're in what I consider to be the hump stage of the holidays as we're between Christmas and New Year's. Let me tell you this, that we've all eaten so much food, especially junk, that we need a dish to balance things out. Anyway, today that's exactly what we're doing. We're making a Spanish lentil stew with meatballs. This is known as Lentejas con Albondigas. Now traditionally, to make this dish, you do use beef to make the meatballs. In this version, we're going to be making some homemade veggie meatballs. That way this is a dish that everyone can enjoy, yet still filled with authentic Spanish flavors. Folks, we're talking easy to make, simple heart-healthy ingredients, and the best part, it's all done in about 40 minutes. Alright, let's just jump right into this. I'm going to heat a stock pot with a medium heat and add in 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, which is 30 milliliters. While the oil is heating, I'm going to finely chop 1 small onion, roughly chop 4 cloves of garlic, finely chop 1 red bell pepper, and cut 1 carrot that's been peeled into small bite-sized pieces. Then we'll add in the chopped ingredients into the stock pot, and we'll mix them around continuously. That way they don't brown too quickly and it all evenly sautés. After about 4 minutes and the ingredients are lightly sautéed, I'm going to add in 1 tablespoon of sherry vinegar, which is 15 milliliters. You can also use red wine vinegar here or even apple cider vinegar. We'll also add in 1 teaspoon of sweet smoked Spanish paprika, which is 2.5 grams. And half a teaspoon of ground cumin, which is 1.5 grams. And we'll give it a quick mix. And like I've told you in the past, when you're working with paprika in a hot pan, you want to mix it in there quickly, otherwise it can easily get a bitter flavor. Then we'll add in half a cup of tomato sauce, which is 120 grams. As always, I made my sauce by finely grating fresh tomatoes, but you can also use canned tomato sauce here, which is very similar to passata. And we'll give it a mix until it's well mixed together, and then simmer it for a few minutes. While tomato sauce is simmering, let's start prepping our lentils. I'm going to add in 1 cup of dried lentils into a fine sieve, which is 130 grams, and rinse them under some water. I'm using green lentils, but you can also use the brown ones. Either way, when you're working with dried lentils, you don't have to soak them overnight like other beans. You just give them a quick rinse and they're ready to go. After simmering the tomato sauce for about 4 minutes and it's slightly thickened, we'll add in the rinsed lentils and 1 liter of vegetable broth, which is a little over 4 1/4 cups. You can also use chicken broth here or even beef broth if you like. Either way, link on how to make my homemade veggie broth in the description box below. Then we'll add in 1 bay leaf, turn it up to a high heat, and give it a gentle mix. Once it comes to a boil, we'll place the lid on the stock pot and lower the fire to a low heat. And we're going to simmer this between 20 to 25 minutes until those lentils are just cooked through. Important to check the package instructions in the lentils you're using, that way you cook them right on the money. In the meantime, let's start making our vegetarian meatballs. I'm going to drain 1 can of chickpeas into a colander and rinse the chickpeas under some water. Size of the can that I'm using is 15.5 ounces, which is 440 grams. Then we'll shake off any of the excess water. Transfer the chickpeas into a large bowl. And using a potato masher or a large fork, we'll mash down on the chickpeas until they're semi-mashed. Meaning, it's okay if you have little chunks of chickpeas in there. Then we'll add in 1/3 cup of plain breadcrumbs, which is 40 grams. Crack in 1 large egg. Add in 1/4 cup of chopped onion, which is 30 grams. 1 clove of garlic that's been finely grated. 1 small carrot that's been finely grated as well. 2 tablespoons of chopped parsley, which is 8 grams. And half a teaspoon of ground cumin, which once again is 1.5 grams. Then we'll season with sea salt and freshly cracked black pepper. And we'll mix everything together. Once everything is well mixed, we'll push down on the mixture until we end up with a paste-like texture. This is to ensure that all the ingredients are well bound. That way while we're cooking our veggie meatballs, they hold their shape and they don't break apart. To shape the veggie meatballs, we'll grab a spoonful of the mixture and squeeze it in our hands. Once again, this is to ensure that all the ingredients are well bound together. and shape it into a ball about the size of a golf ball. And if you see that your mixture is too wet to work with, add in some more breadcrumbs, and vice versa if it's too dry, add in some whisked egg. Once all the veggie meatballs have been assembled, let's start cooking them up. I'm going to heat a large fry pan with a medium heat and add in 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, which is 45 milliliters. After a couple minutes, we'll add in the veggie meatballs. You want to make sure they're on a single layer and evenly spaced out. And we're going to go for about 8 to 10 minutes here until those veggie meatballs are golden fried all around. After about 10 minutes and the veggie meatballs are golden fried, we'll remove them from the pan and set them aside. Okay, let's move back to the stock pot. After simmering the stew for about 20 minutes, I'm going to remove the lid. And at this point, those lentils should be perfectly cooked through. Once again, important to check the package instructions in the lentils you're using, that way you cook them right on the money. And if you see that you need more liquid into your stew, you send in some more broth at this stage. For the next step, I'm going to season everything with sea salt and freshly cracked black pepper. And we'll give it a gentle mix. And like I've told you in the past, when you're working with dried beans, you want to season them once they're cooked. If you season them beforehand, it's going to take them longer to cook and they're going to end up with a tough texture. Then we'll add in our veggie meatballs into the stock pot. And we'll give it a gentle mix. And then we'll place the lid back on the stock pot and simmer this for another 2 to 3 minutes or until those veggie meatballs are heated through. Then we'll remove the stock pot from the heat. Transfer some of the stew into a shallow bowl. And garnish with fresh parsley. Check it out, our Spanish lentil stew with meatballs is done. Easy to make, heart-healthy ingredients, and all done in about 40 minutes. Let's give this a try and see how it turned out. Once again, folks, lentejas con albóndigas. In this case, lentejas con albóndigas vegetarianas. This I can't wait to try. Here we go. Look at that. That is absolutely delicious. And I tell you, it's a chilly day outside. So this right here really hits the spots with that bite. It warms your soul with so much goodness. The lentils are beautifully cooked, stored all the flavors in the pan, and then those veggie meatballs, taking this to the next level. Easy to make, heart healthy. You're to try home. An extra crunchy bag and a bottle of Spanish red wine from the region of Campo de Borja, more specifically Garnacha, and have yourself a healthy and delicious meal. Really quick before I go, a shout out to a couple of my patrons, Coolin Hollyman and Mary O'Neill Julihan. And guys, thank you so much for being patrons of Spain on a Fork. You know how much I appreciate you. Enjoyed today's video, hit that like button, leave me a comment below, and if you're not subscribed, don't forget to smash that subscribe button and click on the bell icon. That way you can get notified every time I release new content and to become a part of the Spain on a Fork family. Till the next time, hasta luego.